What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Rec Room. I'm your boy Tony the Brick Whisperer. As you can see, not much has changed. Maybe just a little bit has been straightened up, but still very much living up to the name of the Rec Room. Real quick, the disclaimers. Hey, no one has given me anything. Lego hasn't given me nothing. I have no sponsors. Not Bricks and Minifigs Avondale. No one. My only sponsor is Mrs. Brick Whisperer, who, I mean, let's face it, based on the title of this episode, Mrs. Brick Whisperer wants more. Well, that's what she's going to get today. So, as we get ready to roll in that direction, so hey, I want to thank everybody so much for it was either text messages, comments on the previous video, phone calls, the whole shebang. Excuse me. Uh, Great feedback on the new microphone. I'm using well, correction, on the new camera. So the new camera does record in stereo. I am using a new microphone, so let's see how this one sounds. So, fingers crossed. Now, over the next few episodes, you will notice that some of the video quality is going to be different because, in one instance, I'm going to be using my brand new camera, and others, I'm going to be using my old. I'm gonna switch them both out here and there. With using the new camera, you'll see that some of the builds I have done will be at different angles. So please keep the feedback coming. Let me know what angles you all like, and we'll see if we can get some more. I love getting that input, so keep it coming. Uh, with this new camera, you'll notice that the camera zooms in just very slightly and whatnot. It's called the autofocus. I did one build where I had turned the autofocus off, and and you'll see it in upcoming episodes. The with autofocus off, it's just very blurry. So I think for the sake of sanity, we'll just leave it on. So apologies for future builds. The Winter Village is almost done. I have been building quite a bit because we had family come in town this previous weekend, and I wanted to get as much done as I could. So right now, in the here and now, as of today, there's only one more thing I need to add to the Winter Village, and then it's complete. However, this video, when these builds were being made, I had a ways to go. So we'll get there. And I won't put up the finished product of the entire village until it is all complete. And so far, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to show it off. We have family in town, so we will be doing as much hanging out with them. I have enough footage from the entire Winter Village being put together that I am pretty much done with my builds for the rest of the calendar year of 2025. So I'm already looking forward to what I'll be building after the new year, and I am currently in the process of filming this year's Christmas episode, uh, and I'm just going to leave that as a surprise. So you'll just have to tune in and watch. So, with all of that, we are going to jump right into our builds. So let's get started with boom! Set number 40602, the Winter Market Stall. Fun little build. So, hey, let's just dive in. Let's get this thing going. Here we go. All right, the Winter Market Stall. We are going to get cranking, get this knocked out. This Winter Market Stall took me less than 20 minutes to build. So, I mean, only 271 pieces. The set did not have a very long life. It was released on the 18th of November of 2023 and was retired on the 31st of December of 2023. And from everything that I see, this was a GWP or gift with purchase from Lego.com. And you know, it's just one of those small little sets that, hey, it adds a little bit of life to the Christmas village that we have going on. If I am not mistaken, I ended up with the majority of this build probably from some container of bulk that Mrs. excuse me, that Mrs. Brick Whisperer had bought, and it might have been missing a piece or two, so I acquired those pieces, and here we are. Let's just get it knocked out, and let's get this put out with the rest of the village. Now, every now and then you'll see me reach out a frame for probably something that I might have overlooked. But oddly enough, with a lot of these builds, yeah, it's simply because I am not using my eyes very well. Sometimes it's like, oh, there it is. Oh well, I already swapped it. Carry on. So, alright, quick little snowman, quick little Christmas tree. And here we have it. Now, I gotta say that I'm liking how some of the lighting is being done here. Not too much reflection. Let me know what you all think. But there it is. There's the winter market stall. And sorry about the background moving there. It's because I got a little overzealous trying to get too many things done while filming. So a fun little set. Mrs. Brick Whisperer loves it. I mean, I'm really thinking that she's really enjoying this whole winter village going that we have happening right now. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in a previous video. Mrs. Brick Whisperer is a funny individual because her father had given me his entire ceramic winter village. And I love setting it up because I know how much joy it brings the rest of the family. And I think it was the second year I put it together. I had looked at Mrs. Brick Whisperer and I had said, maybe I need to do my own thing. Tony the Brick Whisperer, let's do a Lego one. And she was very adamant at the time, and she said, no, you have a Star Wars collection. That's enough. And then over the past 2 years, that's when she came to me and said, you're Tony the Brick Whisperer. I think you need to have a Lego one. Boy, am I glad I thought of this. And it's just been one of those friendly little, banter type things between the two of us. And let me tell you, she is just as excited about getting this set up as I am. And in fact, with this next set, I would have to say maybe she's more. Because this next set, she wanted to add it to the village. And every time that she had the opportunity to, something would happen to where she couldn't get it. And then she went on Lego.com to buy the set, and it was gone. Well, thankfully, there is a seller that I have bought items from numerous times in the past. Fantastic seller. I'm not going to say who it is, but if by some chance he watches this video, chances are he's going to know who I'm talking about. But he happened to have it. Mrs. Brick Whisperer got super excited, so we went ahead and bought it from him. It showed up, and so let's go ahead and get to building. Boom! Set number, there we go, 10339, Santa's Post Office. I think what drew Mrs. Brick Whisperer to this set would be that right there. The hot air balloon. She thinks it is the cutest thing. So who am I to deny Mrs. Brick Whisperer a cutesy little Lego thing? So let's get to building. Here we go. Alright, so here we get started on Santa's Post Office. So Santa's Post Office 10339. This set was originally released on the 1st of October of 2024, and what really got Mrs. Brick Whisperer ready to buy this was the fact that she found out that it is going to retire on the 31st of December of 2025. She found out it was going to retire, then she found out that things weren't available on Lego.com, and so here we are. Recommended retail price of $99. 1,440 pieces took me about 2 hours. Now, some of the detail that they put into this set was really cool. So, for example, that blue item there you see, that, in my opinion, I think that was a mail sorter. And the way the build is set up, letters would fall into the mail sorter, and then you have the green bin for the nice list, red bin for the naughty list. A very clever, very excellent addition to this set. But hey, I digress. Let's get to getting more of this post office built. So I have found that with some of these builds, depending on how long it takes me to record, I do my very best to have the time lapse go quick. So, and you've heard me say this before in the past, this took me 2 hours to build. It's only going to take a few minutes to get through it. Right now, I am trying to figure out what I am going to do when it comes to the big 8-hour sets. 8-hour plus. Basically all my UCS Star Wars sets when the time comes. Because, let's face it, those take a while. So I am sure I'll probably be maxing out the time lapse on my video editing software. I'll even be throwing on some time lapse on the camera. So hopefully it will go relatively quickly. So we're getting the first floor done. We have the mailbox area already set up. This particular set did come with a light brick, and we will be seeing that later. I don't think I actually have a section in the video where I light it up, but it will be part of the balloon. So one thing that I'm also really digging with these holiday sets is their use of all the different white slopes, making it look like snow drifts and icicles and whatnot. Right there's one of the the letter slides that I was just talking about, and I even referred to the letter sorter. So you can see that mail would go down those two little chutes, down into the one, and then into the mail sorter. But I really enjoy the slopes, and it really gives that good texture for the winter scene. And hey, with as full as the Winter Village is right now, maybe I'll see about getting some Mills plates together. Modular Integrated Landscaping System, I believe is what Mills stands for. And basically it's an easy way to set up an entire scene, and instead of having to carry an 8-foot long build, you're able to break it down into sections. So we'll see what happens. But I would love to essentially get something like that going for this Winter Village. Who knows? I've got nothing but time on my hands. All right, so we're getting some of the ceiling elements done, roof elements. So yeah, once you guys all see the finished product of the Winter Village, you're probably gonna say the same thing. Hey, why are there no white plates underneath everything to give it that snowy look, because right now everything is just sitting on top of essentially wood. Is sitting on top of the TV stand. So that is something I am going to have to rectify. So I do not know why Lego decided to put some of the male pieces in almost during one of the last steps. In my opinion, when you put up those mailboxes, you should have just put the letter pieces in at that point. I got big hands trying to get those little envelopes into those tiny little slots when the whole thing is built. That was a little tricky. And here is Mrs. Brick Whisperer's favorite part of this set. This would be the hot air balloon. And as I am saying this, she is in the back in the living room giggling. Something tells me that she really, really liked this balloon. Although I have not seen her pressing any of the buttons on the Christmas Village for anything to light up. But there's the completed Santa's post office. This was such a fun, detailed build. I enjoyed this immensely. The Santa's post office, a great set, but hey, who's going to work in Santa's post office? Might as well have some elves. What are they going to do in their time off? Well, that's where we go to. Boom! Set number 10275, the Elf Clubhouse. This was another fun little build. Mrs. Brick Whisperer started laughing when she saw the, I guess you could say the triple stacked bunk bed and all the shenanigans that the elves could find themselves into. So let's just dive in and get this set knocked out and get it added to the village. Here we go. Alright, we're going to get this village going as quickly as possible. So this set took me almost about an hour and a half. We're going to get through it in just a few minutes. Hour and a half for 1,197 pieces. The Elf Clubhouse was released on the 1st of October of 2020 and was retired on the 31st of December of 2022. Mrs. Brick Whisperer likes the sets that are getting put into this winter village, but as soon as she started seeing how these sets were being made through essentially the icons theme, those are the ones that she's really gravitating towards. The creator, not so much. This set was originally released with a recommended retail price of $100. And so, with all of the different holiday village sets that are out there, the icons ones now is the only ones that she's going to go after. Okay, I suppose I can live with that. The Santa's post office was from the icons, and there will be a couple more in upcoming episodes. So I guess you'll just have to wait and see. But I also know that some expert creator and some gift with purchases and basically all the different ways that Christmas sets have been released, we have gotten those as well. But yep, I think Mrs. Brick Whisperer wants to stick with the icons. But don't quote me, because we both know how much she loves the little cutesy things. So I'm sure she's going to see something, she's going to squeal and do that sneezing, it's cute, and then it's going to end up in the village. And right now she's kind of giving me a Mrs. Brick Whisper is kind of giving me that eyeball of, are you sure about that? But she also has that mischievous grin, so I think she knows that I am right. Alright, so now we've gotten the first floor done. Kind of little hanging out area. You might see it get turned here in a little bit. It has a little table with some mugs and cookies. Now we're building the little room. One of the cool um, ideas, if you will, or the features of this set is the chimney, and I know we're not there yet, so when we get there, I'll have to remember the waffle drop. So I think what Mrs. Brick Whisper also liked about this particular Elf Clubhouse is the A-frame look. She wasn't necessarily a big fan of the A-frame cabin itself. I would have to say mostly because it's not part of the holiday line. But it definitely has that wintry domicile look. And there we see the inside of it. You see the little table and chairs. Right on the other side of that wall with the snowshoes, there's a little like gift wrapping area. Well done on that one, Lego. I thought that was a really clever addition. There's the bunk bed that I was telling you about. And what's funny is you can have the little elf minifigs laying on it, and you can tilt it, and they will fall off the bed. I just haven't shown Mrs. Brick Whisperer that. I really haven't shown very many people some of the detail that gets put into some of these, some of the features. Like I said, we had family over this past weekend, and I was showing one family member. I'm not going to say who, but if she's watching, she's going to know exactly who I'm talking about. I was showing how some of these sets have the light bricks and how to light them up. And then she made an assumption that they all light up. And she went to press down on a set and ended up breaking the top off. And it was comical. You know, it's Lego. It'll get put back together rather easily. So I was not worried about it one bit. We got it taken care of. All is good. So there's a little balcony there for the elves to include a little telescope. Now, I love the little like street sign post right there in front of the house, and I especially like it because we have a Santa's workshop, and we have the North Pole, and it points every which way. And the way that we have it set up, because there's another set that has workshop and elf and clubhouse. And so the way I have it set up is the street signs are accurate. They actually point to where those respective builds are. Alright, so here's the chimney. The way that they put this chimney together, there is a little feature, a little lever on the side of the chimney where you can drop little round 1x1 tiles that have a waffle print. You kind of see them there in the middle of the screen. They're tan. Yep, never mind. They disappeared because I just put them in. I just loaded them into the chimney. But you can hit the lever and a waffle will fall out. Very clever. Very clever, Lego. And there it is. And you can see the waffles right there just chilling in the chimney. About ready to go into the little skillet there. Lots of little gifts. Yet another Christmas tree. A reindeer in training. So this was a fun set. Maybe one day I'll have to buy the light kit so I can make the lights there on the edges of the house light up. But that will be a problem for another year. And so there you have it. 3 more sets ready to rock and roll for the Winter Village. Like I said, I've already got videos and footage and everything already taken care of. I'm hoping here shortly to be able to resume filming for the Christmas episode that will release on Christmas morning. And hey, I think now it's just going to be hangout time with Mrs. Brick Whisperer while we wait to resume filming. We'll see what happens. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Share this with anybody you know that loves Lego. Share this with anybody that you think would love to see the Winter Village. And with all that being said, we'll see you when we see you. Y'all have yourselves a great holiday season. Bye.